Everyone loves stuff for free, don't they? Making a car faster for free is the best. So what I'm going to do is take you through 5 mods that will actually make your car faster. So hold on. We know that cold air makes more power. It's much denser, it contains more oxygen, so it'll make a bigger bang. Bigger bang equals more power. The air that's come through the turbo is heated, and then we've cooled it down with our lovely intercoolers. But at the point that it's just about to go into the engine, the throttle body is then heated up again because there's a coolant feed that goes in and out of the throttle body. Now in extreme climates, I'm told that that stops the throttle body icing up. So if you're in extreme climates, then maybe not an idea to do this all year round, but you can just take off one hose, join those 2 hoses together, and the air that's come through the intercooler nice and cool is then not getting heated up again before it goes into the engine. It's not a massive power difference, but it's marginal gains. Very small things, but for free, why not? TGVs have appeared on WRXs since 2001, or 2000, year 2001 anyway, and have made their way onto the SDI versions from the Hawkeye onwards. They're a pain, they break, they interrupt the airflow going into the engine, and as far as I can tell, they do absolutely. What I'm going to do is show you how to remove the TGVs the easy way. Obviously you can replace the stacks with TGV deletes or with the STI versions. So the first part is to remove the inlet manifold from the engine and then separate the 2 halves of the inlet manifold, and you'll then be able to see the TGVs, the tumble generator valves. As you can see, the actual retaining screws for the plates are difficult to get to, and the bottom part of those are knurled so that you can't just simply wind them back out using the screws. Obviously to protect against the event of the screws going into the engine, which would not be good. So instead what you have to do is drill the top of the heads of the screws off and then wind those screws out from underneath. It takes a bit of time to obviously drill the heads off, and then winding them out using a pair of pliers from the underside is a bit of a pain, but you know, it will eventually undo and the TGV plates will be removable. Once you've done all that for all 4 tumble generator valves, it's just a case of cleaning up, ideally putting new gaskets if the existing gaskets are not in very good condition. Put it all back in place, tighten it down, and you're good to go. Again, on the subject of cold air making more power, chances are if you're running a top mount intercooler, a lot of the fins are bent from flies and bugs hitting the intercooler, bending the fins, or by pressure washing, trying to wash it, or just general wear and tear, taking the intercooler off, putting it back on. So spend a bit of time with a couple of screwdrivers just straightening the fins out, and that intercooler will work so much better. Again, not a massive gain, but little bits count. So have you got any other mods that you do that you believe are free? Pop it in the comments below. I'd be very happy to see them. We could have a chat about them. Colin Chapman once famously said, add power and the car will be faster on the straights. Add lightness and the car will be faster everywhere. So that's the first thing that we're going to look at, is making the car a bit lighter. Now I don't mean stripping it out completely, taking out the interior, taking all the carpets and the sound deadening, taking out the heaters and the, you know, you can do that if it's a track car, but for a road car I really wouldn't recommend it. So I'm just going to concentrate on a few bits. The first of those is getting rid of some of the hard sound deadening that's underneath the carpet and the cushioning in the carpet. Best time to do that is the winter, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video now, because you can, with a chisel, you can remove this in great big chunks. Taking this out of the complete car, including the boot area under the seats, there's about 25 kilos worth of this in the car. So 25 kilos lighter, and the car feels so much faster. Another part of adding lightness, as Colin Chapman would say, is removing some of the captive nuts or captive washers that are within the car. A lot of times those bolts are probably 5mm, 10mm longer than they need to be. So going around with an angle grinder, taking the ends off those, put the bits that you cut off in a bucket and weigh that afterwards, you probably end up with about 10 kilos worth of spare bits of metal without making any difference to the safety of the vehicle or anything else. But with those two things, you've lost 35 kilos. Pretty much the equivalent of almost a full tank of fuel. And we all know how well a car responds on an empty tank as opposed to a full tank. So hopefully that helps. So hopefully that helps. It should at least make the car faster. The final mod that I believe that you can do for free is, maybe not quite free, but very close to being free. A bit of time involved, but unbolt the standard headers, or unbolt the headers that you've got on the car, and you'll get them off, and you'll see inside the gasket lines there is an overlap there which can be removed with a die grinder or a Dremel or some other tool to just smooth out the bends. This reduces the back pressure, helps the air come out of the engine better so that fresh air can go into the engine. Fresh air contains more oxygen, makes more power. The gaskets leave a nice carbon mark, which makes a perfect template for grinding into. Again, not a massive horsepower gain, not a massive torque gain, but everything counts. It will improve your car. And if you're aiming for higher horsepower, once you've done the porting, the standard headers are good for 500-600 horsepower. You don't need to be spending 700, 1,000, 1,500 pounds on aftermarket stainless steel headers. The standard items are really good. They just need a little bit of help on the gas flow. Obviously these aren't going to make your car a rocket ship. You will need to spend money if you want to make it significantly faster. Or another way of making your money go further is to watch this video here. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.